Occupy Washington, D.C. protesters held their own version of a deficit reduction supercommittee hearing on Wednesday, calling on the real supercommittee to look at other options.
There are real solutions to our economic crisis that can benefit most people and not just benefit the 1%.
6 witnesses were invited to testify, including Margaret Flower, a doctor and Occupy D.C. protester, who talked about how universal Medicare could be a cost saver. Economist Dean Baker of the Center for Economic Policy Research, who talked about Social Security, Andrew Fieldhouse of the Economic Policy Institute, who talked about tax reform, and Carl Canetta of the Project for Diplomatic Defense Alternatives, who talked about using diplomacy to reduce the need for expensive military action. Attendees were then given the chance to ask questions of each of the panel members. One attendee, Joan Stallard, said the Social Security message resonated most for her.
I'm 70 years old. I've been paying into it since, I don't even know when I started working, but forever. And I have counted on this money and have made my retirement plans based on this money and have run my life based on having this support.
Occupy D.C. protester Emilio Montilla also said the social issues covered were important.
Well, one thing I put in perspective here is that I love the fact that we are coming together and trying to bridge the gap from poverty into having a safe home and job, etc. So I'm all for the solutions being implemented.
About 70 people, including protesters as well as members of the public, attended the event. In an effort to highlight the alternatives discussed, Occupy D.C. protesters will release their own deficit reduction plan next week.
I hope this sort of ribs everyone on the supercommittee. People aren't happy with the direction Washington's taking on deficit reduction. I think there's a lot of frustration.
For the Spokesman-Review, Jessica Holden.